Hi, I'm April Crosby. I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of communication. One of the most important things in relationships is communicating. We need to share our likes, our dislikes, information, dates, times. And we do it in our personal lives. Well, guess what? We do it here too. So we believe that effective communication strengthens our community. Canvas Community Church, we want it to be strong. There are three main ways that we communicate with the people who attend Canvas Community Church. The first way is digital. The second way is print. And the third way is in person. First, I'd like to talk to you about digital communication. The bulk of our communication happens digitally. That is our newsletter, which is delivered to your inbox every week, usually on Thursday, although there is a little bit of wiggle room there. We also use social media, predominantly Facebook. There is a Canvas Community Church Instagram, but it doesn't have a whole lot of activity right now. Facebook is definitely one we use weekly. The next is Church Center. If you have heard of Planning Center, it's the program we use to keep track of who goes where and names and dates and all that stuff. And Church Center is the church-facing side of that, where you'll find out about events, register, sign up for small groups. The next one is connected to Church Center, and that is our app. If you open the app, you'll be able to be taken directly to our website or to Church Center, where you can find out what events are going on and sign up directly from your phone. The next one is our website. Now, there's not as much day-to-day newsletter type things that you'll find on our website. It's a little more static. It is a collection of our sermons and the things that basically don't change a whole lot at our church. So if you want to know the church times, if people are looking for the address or where to park, or how to dress, people can go to the website. The last way that we communicate digitally is through email. Now, we don't do this all the time. Usually we save emails directly to everyone for emergency situations like, hey, there's a lot of snow, don't come to church, or there's a date changed. Recently, we had an egg hunt that had to go from a Saturday morning to a Thursday night. We sent out an email to make sure everyone had that information in a timely manner. Okay, so we've talked about digital communication. Next, we'll talk about printed communication. And you'll notice right away, there's a lot less of it. The three kinds of printed communication that you'll see is the bulletin on Sunday morning. Somebody will be standing at the door, greeting you, telling you good morning, and handing you a bulletin. Let me encourage you to take that bulletin and give it a once over. Make sure that you haven't missed anything. It will usually mirror the information on the newsletter so that those people who aren't super technological or inclined to use email very often can still keep in touch with everything that's going on. Another printed communication is flyers. And I don't know, you might be thinking like flyers on the wall. That might happen now and then, but mostly I'm talking about flyers that are added to your bulletin. It's another good reason to grab a bulletin on Sunday morning, even if you think you're totally plugged in. There can be special event flyers. And even if you know about them, you can take those flyers and share them. Share them with a neighbor, share them with a coworker. It's a great way to get the word out on what's happening here at the church. So lastly, in-person communication. This communication, it's really just a complement to the other kinds of communication, and it only works if you're paying attention and you're engaged when it's happening. If you're on the lobby talking before church, which is great, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but you're not going to see the announcement loop, which is a loop of all of the announcement slides that plays before and after every Sunday morning service. So again, that's just going to complement the newsletter and the bulletin by giving you that information again. Live announcements also usually complement because we have a pastor or another leader in the church stand up and say, good morning, and here's what's going on this week. Usually announcements are reserved for just the most up-and-coming events. So it's great if you're paying attention that Sunday and you are finding out about something that week, but it doesn't really help you if you're looking for something a month or more out. And the last way is a special interest table in the lobby. And we've had several of these lately, so I'm sure you've probably seen them. If we have signups for different ministries, sometimes we'll have a ministry fair where people will have tables set up with more information for you to find out what's needed and what's expected. And so there'll be printed, lists of responsibilities or times or paper to sign up on, trying to cover all of our bases. So that's all of the ways we communicate to you, and it's a lot, even though it is repetitive. We want to make sure that we are keeping you in the loop so that you can participate in the community with us. Finally, let me just say that effective communication flows both ways. We want to hear from you. If you have any questions or concerns about anything, you can always email us at office@canvascommunity.church, and whoever gets that email will make sure that it lands in the right person's hands. Also, and a lot of people don't know this, you can actually just respond to the newsletter. It goes to office@canvascommunity.church. So you can just hit respond, and if you have a question that was brought up by the newsletter, you can just hit respond and go right from there. So if you are in leadership or you're throwing an event that's a church-wide event and you would like to have it promoted in the newsletter or one of the other ways that I mentioned, sooner is always better than later. Make sure that you get your information to the office at least a week before you want to see it introduced to the church. It takes time to get things printed in the bulletin, to get things posted in the newsletter. With that comes the creation of graphics, and we have several people on staff who are really good at creating graphics, and we're happy to help you and do that for you if you need it. If you do want to make your own graphics, just check with us first so that we can give you the guidelines so that we're kind of having a basic design element across all of our communications. So that's it. That's a lot. But just remember that there are lots of opportunities to communicate with us, lots of opportunities for you to find information that will help you stay plugged in to our church. And if you have any questions, always email office@canvascommunity.church.